Well, this week, the Liberal Party, in a move that I just completely cannot understand, chose one of the most centre-left leaning moderates it could possibly choose to be its new leader, in a clear signal that the party fully intends to be seeking to take back the market share that it's lost from the Teals in the inner-city electorates. This strategic direction goes against the lessons from overseas, where the UK Conservative Party has massively shrunk its power and number of MPs and councillors all over the country by doing the same thing, and where a new Conservative Party has emerged to take its place and is, frankly, killing it. Nigel Farage's Reform UK. In America, we saw the Tea Party movement morph over a decade or so into the MAGA movement and take on incredible odds to triumph over the establishment of the Republican Party and the entire Democrat government and political and media machine to ultimately win. And in Canada, the Conservatives took a more aggressive stance, and if not for some fast-moving sneakiness by the left-wing Liberal Party over there, they would have won the last election too. They sure increased their representation and shifted the political debate to the right, and they look set to win the next election. So this decision by the Australian Liberal Party really goes against global trends. Message received, cries the News Corp press this week. Liberals begin fight back with moderate female leader. Okay, but what message was received exactly? The coalition's total primary vote was 32%. And don't even talk about party membership numbers and where they're going. I've got it on good authority that they're at an all-time low. The fact is that they're bleeding out the right side to the minor Conservative parties, who collectively picked up 11% of the vote this election. And they're bleeding out the left side to the Teals, who picked up 7.4% of the vote. But I'd say a lot of those Teal votes come from former Labor and Greens voters too. So if you really received the message, you wouldn't be beginning to fight back with a moderate female leader. You'd probably be fighting back with a Conservative leader, trying to win back that lost 11% first and trying to pick up the blue-collar Conservatives still voting Labor, but fed up with the leftism and woke nonsense. And you wouldn't care at all about gender. A strong female would be great for a change, I guess. A good Conservative like Jacinta Price will get there one day, I'm sure. But gender should never matter too much to the side of politics that's supposed to be the upholder of the values of merit. So who is Susan Lee?
I want to talk a little bit about me. And I want to talk about my views of the Liberal Party, because the Liberal Party has shaped the person that I am today. My story is a migrant story. It's a small business story. It's a rural Australia story. It's a story about a mum and a family, and it is a modern Australian story.
There's that word again, modern, which means liberal progressive, not classical liberal or conservative. Anyway, a little kindness for Susan this week, as her mum is in end-of-life care, and many of us know what that time of life is like. Talk about everything happening at once for a person. Well, joining me now on the panel this week is the Libertarians member for the New South Wales State Parliament Upper House, John Ruddock, and also in the studio with me, our good mate Rob McMullen, a regular on the other side, Rob McMullen from the Natural Law Institute. John, we'll just have a quick chat to you, first of all, about that very point. Do you think that Susan Lee's use of the term modern is a little too frequent, shall we say?
Okay, so I just want to clear up a misconception that a lot of people have out there that follow Australian politics. They think that the Parliamentary Liberal Party is divided between Conservatives and moderates, okay? But this is the truth. The moderates believe in nothing, okay? Because if you are a left-leaning, politically interested, intellectual type of a person, you want to get involved in politics, you're not going to join the Liberal Party, right?
You would join the Labor Party, you would think, right? Why are these people not in the Labor Party?
Labor or Greens. If you are genuinely, you've got left-wing intellectual convictions and you really believe in stuff. Now, who are the moderates? They are people who are careerists and ambitious. So they join the Liberal Party because it's a very successful party, you know, and a similar group, it's 50-50 about whether they join Liberal or Labor for these careerists.
Yeah.
Okay, like Malcolm Turnbull was 50-50, okay? Yeah. Kevin Rudd thought about joining the Liberal Party, okay? These people don't care, right?
No, they just want to be in power, and as long as they get a job, they're fine. And I mean, you were talking just about the possibility of, in the previous segment, about voting for or having the members of the party vote for the leader of the party, that would have a positive impact. Another thing that might have a positive impact would be a 12 or 18-year term limits, which might stop some of this careerism, right?
Well, look, that'd help. Now, as an incumbent, I sort of had conflicted on that particular subject. Look, we at the Libertarian Party, at the end of the day, David, we want to phase the government out entirely. Right? So we don't even. We just need people in here who are going to help us get the government down real small.
Yeah.
But look, the moderates are careerists who join the Liberal Party because the party's got a lot of trinkets to hand out. It's in Parliament, lobbying, contracts, staffing positions. Personal glory. So they join it, okay, but they don't really believe in anything. Now, they pretend to. They go and watch the news and read the newspapers, but that's not really in their heart. What's in their heart? Their personal ambition. So therefore, they think, okay, I need the media to be nice to me since I want to rise, in the party room and get pre-selected and everything. So I'll just mimic what the media say with a little bit of a Liberal Party spin and say, I believe in free enterprise. Climate change is important. Okay, now the reason these people win the pre-selections is in the age of social media, the other group in the party, which are known as conservatives, but are just basically people who've got conviction. They do believe in stuff. Now, anyone who's been on social media in the last 20 years, which is everybody who joined the Liberal Party, they might have said something because they really believe in things. They might have said something 15 years ago, which today might seem a little bit, off colour. Okay, so the conservatives rule themselves out. Okay, whereas the moderates say, I'm a clean skin.
Yeah.
They want to pre-select people who don't have any conviction. So the so-called moderates win, and voila, you end up with Susan Ley as the federal parliamentary Liberal leader.
Well, just looking at the numbers, I mean, they're going to wipe themselves out by shifting left because I can't see how they get to 50%. They're not going to take market share from the Labor Party. They might pick up a few of the Teals. They're going to lose that whole 11% on the right flank, and we'll probably see some kind of other sort of centre-right party emerge, like the Reform UK situation, Rob.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that has been happening even in Germany. I think the right-wing party's on the verge of being, or has been,
got
outlawed.
Being outlawed.
Haven't they? Because they've been cracking down. But you've got this, bubbling under the surface all around the world as that people want some representation for the right wing. And like I said, you can't out-left the left. I'm just going to say it again. If the left, if they accuse the Liberal Party of having a woman problem, you're not going to achieve anything by working within their frame and saying, oh, no, we don't want to look like we've got a woman problem. Let's get a woman leader. If she earned it fair and square, great.
Well, it's like, look at Jacinta Price. I mean, just attack Jacinta Price.
That's right.
Oh, she's not a real Aboriginal person.
You don't win against them by giving into their framing. Jacinta Price said, I'd love to make Australia great again. And they came down on her. The best thing you could do is say, no, I believe Australia should be great again because by objective metrics, we're getting less great, and I don't like it.
The other thing too, the point that we made on the show last week, I think, was we were talking about that weird analogy with the chocolate milk and the kombucha, that there's these two market segments that are distinctly different.
I can't believe you drank it.
I did drink it, and I spat it out immediately. And the analogy, I admit, didn't work for a lot of people. I got a bit of feedback that this was a bit.
I loved it.
But basically, the point I'm trying to make is, from a marketing perspective, because that's my background, PR and marketing, you put the two drinks together and you work the total is less than the sum of its parts. You're trying to sell a Frankenstein policy, Frankenstein strategy, Frankenstein messaging. It makes you less. And so we had that situation with Peter Dutton just looking bloody awful because nobody looks strong when they're trying to please everybody, right, John? I mean, it's just you're not standing up for your principles and what you believe in, so you can't look like someone who's got integrity. You can't look like someone who's a strong leader.
No, absolutely. Now, both of you gentlemen have given examples of other countries where there has been a bit of a sort of a revolution on the right, okay, and it's all across Europe: Sweden, Austria, Hungary, Italy. Okay, now of course the best of all is Argentina with Mr. Milei. So the macro picture is looking pretty good. Okay, and Australia can often be behind these global trends. Now. In almost all of those cases, the old centre-right establishment became so centrist and weak that they are collapsing, like we're seeing with Britain right now with Farage. Now, it's an interesting situation in Australia because we have, unusually and unhelpfully, this whole splintering off the minor right, okay? Now, that the minor right got more votes across the country than the Greens, but the Greens got 6 senators elected. The minor right the minor right could end up with just 1. Now we might end up with 3 or 4 as well, but it's more likely to be 1 or 2.
Well, if the Liberal Party shifts, can I just say, if the Liberal Party shifts left, I mean, my calculation was that the minor right got 11% and the Greens got about 12, I think, or 11 something. So if some of the Liberal Party right think, well, we don't like this move that the Liberal Party is taking going further left, we're going to go further right, they start voting for the minor right parties, then, yeah, the minor right parties are going to be bigger than the Greens.
Yes, but the great tragedy, the thing that's really, really a handbrake in Australian politics is that, there's about 6 minor right parties. Okay, so we're sort of like, in a playing Russian roulette with each other, just in a circle, shooting each other. So that's called a problem. Now,
all right, look, I get this question all the time, John Ruddock from the Libertarians. I'm just going to put it to you. Everybody comments online, why don't you guys get together? Why don't you get organised? I often reply that because we have preferential voting, it doesn't really matter because you can put them in any order and you like, but it does matter because there's not a unified message and the organisational structure's not there, right?
Well, look, theoretically, you're right about the preferences, but look, the tragedy is that the minor right could not have done more in 2022 and 2025 to say, look, if you want to vote for one nation, make sure you put the Libertarians second and the Trumpets third and Christians fourth and then put the Liberals ahead of Labor. But only about half of them do it, Damien. Okay, that's the cold, hard reality. And other people out there, they might love the Trumpet of the Patriots. So what they'll think they're doing the right thing, they'll vote 1 Trump of Patriots, 2 Liberal Party. Then they'll put Libertarians 3 and 1 Nation 4.
Because they don't understand how it works, probably. Or
so that's a reality. Now, this is how we solve this great dilemma, gentlemen. What we need to do, let's say there's 6 minor parties on the right. We have a meeting in the Brisbane Town Hall, the Sydney Town Hall, about 6 months before the next federal election, and we invite all the party members. So we might have 3,000 people there in the Brisbane Town Hall. Have all the One Nation members, all the Libertarians, all the Trumpet people, Christians, the shooters, everybody. And you turn up, you get a vote. Now, every participating party gets to put forward who they believe should be the leader of a joint coalition of the minor right Senate ticket. Okay, so each One Nation puts up a candidate. Trumpets put up a candidate. Libertarians put up a candidate. So we go and have this grand primary, and everyone's going to give a 10-minute speech, just like a Liberal Party pre-selection. Give a 10-minute speech, 10 minutes of questions. Okay, you're off the stage. Next one up. We hear from all 6 of them. Now, I believe that most people in that room are not going to vote for the party's candidate that they belong to, although some will, but most will vote on merit. And it'll be a question, look, who do we agree with? And who's a good speaker? Who's sort of like going to be popular with the voters? Okay, then we work out. Now, it might be that, say, the Libertarian comes first in Queensland. So then they are on, you got a Senate coalition ticket.
Or if you do it with a party rank and file vote, right, like you were talking about before, get all the party memberships to vote,
All the party memberships.
Yeah.
Well, so that's why there'll be a few thousand people there from the minor right. Yes.
Yeah, right. Sorry.
I'll vote on merit, and we have one big unified joint ticket. Okay, and that's sorted it out through democratic reform. So that's what I'll be working on in the next 3 years, gentlemen.
All right, sir. Good to talk to you. We'll take a quick break and we'll come back in a moment with more on the other side. I want to tell you about a fantastic initiative that's happening out of Canberra right now. It's called the Awards for Men in Leadership. The awards are given out on International Men's Day, which is November 19. They're designed to combat the increasing denigration of masculinity in our culture and the widespread discrimination against males inside and outside the workplace. The goal is to lift the well-being of boys and men and facilitate healthy collaboration between men and women. The awards for men in leadership are designed to inspire men to make a bigger contribution to family and community and to elevate positive male role models. There's a $10,000 scholarship for studies and professional development, public recognition for the winners, and a year of mentorship and executive coaching for each recipient. It's targeted at young men and middle-aged guys who fought their way up from some other kind of disadvantage. This is the 3rd year of the awards and it'll be the biggest yet. To find out more, just search up the Awards for Men in Leadership on Facebook. That was a segment from a recent episode of our fortnightly news commentary show, The Other Side, with me, Damien Curry. If you liked it, support us. Subscribe to our channel on YouTube right now so you don't miss a thing. It's totally free. Just click that subscribe button and the little bell. And check out our Other Side Unplugged show too, and join our mission to actually do something and change Aussie media for the better at othersidetv.com.au. That's othersidetv.com.au. Check it out now.